All right. This is a interesting game to react to just because of the way it went down, the game itself, and also the way I experienced it. It was 6:30 game here, and I was up late building a server, the box you see behind you, no less. And so I got up late and had to just watch the game from uh, probably about an hour behind, the game being live. So just woke up, popped it on, started from the beginning, and you know, um, it was everything that all the pundits and pontification that happened this week, predicted. You know, Crystal Palace came in. They were kind of hard to break down in that first half. Um, they really combative, probably in all areas, midfield and the wings especially, and um, Zaha was, trying to do his thing. And you know what? When I woke up and I didn't actually get a chance to see the lineup before the game. I just kind of just popped it on, like I said earlier. So, uh, and I saw the lineup and I saw Coleman out there, and I was like, oh crap. But then I thought back, yeah, Coleman does kind of do well against Zaha. The several years I've been watching Everton, when we come up against him, Coleman doesn't really get burned by him too much. I'm sure there's time where he has been burned by Zaha, but he actually does a good job of keeping him. I won't say bottled because Zaha can get his chances, but he keeps him. Let's just say he neutralizes him a little bit. So I wasn't mad at that. And then he had Walcott, and that's fine because Walcott, dug us out of a draw last week. And then Snyderland and Sigurdsson in the middle, but whatever. So the game's going on. We're trying to get through, and just takes a little bit of magic from I forget how that one went down. But what was funny about that goal is my wife was watching it with me, and I heard her go, "Oh!" right before the goal, and then Bernard scores it, and she was like, "She's." We were both thinking the same thing, but she said it. She was just like, Everton doesn't score that kind of goal usually, because even the way it went down impressed her, and it was just, I think it just came from a little bit of kind of started out on the right, and just I think. Dang, I hate that I can't remember exactly, but it was pretty because Sigurdsson, yeah, got it to somebody. Oh, got it over to Walcott, and Walcott crossed it over and landed near Bernard Duarte, and then he just lasered it in. So it was just a good finish from a game where nothing really was kind of coming together. It wasn't like we were just threatening. It was just a whole lot of battles happening on the pitch, and then one ball falls our way. We string together some passes and a nice cross from Walcott. 1-0. Game felt really, I hate to say it, but kind of comfortable. After that, like Palace was getting a few little chances. You can see why they complain about Benteke, and they kind of seemed blunt as far as their attack. And I mean blunt as in dull, like not a lot of a good threat. But we kind of got out of that half looking sound for the most part. And then the second half starts, and I'm watching it. And then what's his name? Benteke scores on us. And there's a little bit that happens in between there, but anyway, he ends up scoring. And I'm like, what? Benteke, all they talk about is how he can't score. He hadn't scored, and he scores on us. But I guess it's the same as Bernard scoring because he didn't score that lot. So the soccer gods are keeping it interesting. But I was so upset about that that Benteke scored that I was just like, man, forget it. I'm just gonna go see what the score is because I didn't want to watch the rest of the game. I was just fuming. Just caught me in a little bit of emotion. I'm a better fan than that usually, but at that time, I just thought I had to look. So I looked, I saw the score, and I was like, oh yeah, this game gets good. It's about to be lit. So, but it actually kind of wasn't that really, because after they scored, they kind of were in our faces a little bit. and should have had some more. Like Benteke could have scored again. They were, pressuring. I guess Roy Hodgson was like at halftime was just like, "Don't embarrass me in front of my peer," because I think Ancelotti may have worked under him at one point. But anyway, Crystal Palace came out trying to equalize. They equalized, and then they um, should have probably went up, but then ace up our sleeve, Richarlison goes ahead and puts them where they need to be. And really, that just was, a flick on from DCL, which is kind of cool because they end up, Richarlison ends up helping DCL later, but and then Richarlison picks that flick on up and just takes it up and then superbly places a ball around the goalkeeper from outside the penalty area, I think. I think it was just outside or maybe it was just inside the penalty area. But Richarlison's just on a tear, man. He scores when he wants to, really. My wife started talking about him, and she's like, he's our best player. And I was like, yeah, we think we're going to lose him. So I hope we don't. I hope that Ancelotti can convince him to stay by, and what's our GM's name? It escapes me right now, but I know him. But Brands can, bring in some more talent around him and convince him that we're building something special, and he'll want to stay. But anyway, that was a nice goal. It could have been making it 2-2, but because of just the luck we were having earlier, and Pickford stopping some goals. By the way, Pickford, that first one was terrible. How did he let that goal in? My 2-year-old could have stopped that goal, and he don't know how to play soccer. But I'm pretty sure if I would have kicked that ball toward him, he would have blocked it. That's how bad that goal was, Pickford. Jeez. Anyway, he did make a monster stop on the second one, but it's kind of just flinging himself wildly at it. So the second one from Benteke, I think it was Benteke. Anyway, I'm all over the place this morning. So yeah, 2-1. Thank you, Richarlison. And then we kind of start to. I think that one broke Palace's spirit a little bit because we were starting to get a little more chances, and we were kind of, trying to get back a hold of the game. But you can tell, like, as much as the team is trying to kind of transform to be more under Ancelotti's image, it's still not there. But anyway, with that 2-1 goal, I think Crystal Palace is just like, geez, not a here we go again effect, but they knew it was going to be hard to score second goals just because they don't have a whole bunch of, attacking prowess right now. And what happened, last goal was just a nice cross from Richarlison. I think it was it was a dead ball, like a corner kick from Digne. Richarlison heads it, and then DCL's there. It hits the post, and DCL's there to pick that up and just slide that back into the back of the net. 3-1. 3 points. Everton is flying up the table. I think we're in 7th, 8th, something like that. We got a break. Players are getting healthy. Walcott got hurt. That sucked. I think Bernard was a little bit banged up, but it's good. We got a break. Players can get healthy. And team is just flying, man. It's I wish when I saw that score, when I looked early and saw it 3-1, I thought it was just gonna be that we just turned it up. Oh, you're gonna score on us 2 more goals, but nah, we kind of got lucky. But I ain't mad at that because almost getting scored on is a heck of a lot better than getting scored on. So if that's what I have to accept is that we're a little bit mushy still. We can't really control games, but we do still end up winning by 2 goals. That's excellent. I'll take it. I'll take that over the two draws against United or Newcastle, or the freaking embarrassing losses we had earlier against Leicester and against Brighton, where I'll take these lucky wins where we can get them. That's 3 more points. Looking at European places, looking like we're going somewhere. We'll take that. And maybe even getting our best midfielder back at the end of this break is awesome. And just as an Evertonian, you get excited about where things are going. I don't think this is a new manager bounce. If it is, it's the longest bounce I've ever seen, but I'll take it, man. It does sort of give me pause though, because I remember last year under Silva even we had a stretch where we would just looked good, but we never looked as consistent. Like we're playing, you can tell how Ancelotti wants to play, and he actually has demonstrated tactical prowess where he makes the right subs. I mean, people, it's been more than a few times where he puts out a lineup and all of us go, what? What are you putting him in the midfield for? Blah, blah. But it ends up not being the worst decision in the world. You don't really look at it, at the end of the day, you don't look at it and go, well, you shouldn't have played this. Or maybe people will quibble with a sub, but that's always going to happen. But, he's not like just up there just throwing attackers on when he's down, or just getting super defensive when he got the game in hand. He does that sometimes, but it kind of makes sense when he does make a substitution or how he's controlling the game. Or you can see what he was trying to do. Whereas with Silva, you would be like, man, I guess you just throw caution to the wind or something. I hate that dog on Silva because I actually like Silva. Just, he's in over his head. So, anyway, we got a manager that's not in over his head. He's taking us up the table. I hope we can keep our players and just build on it. I mean, season's far from over, but this is fun to watch, finally, for us Evertonians. And I don't really have much else to say. I know I'm a bit long-winded as fan channels go, or fan reaction videos, but thanks for putting up with that. And 3 points, up the Toffees.